So, yeah, here with my cousin Josh, and this is his Orzhov deck.
Kind of orzhov. This is just kind of infinite combo deck that I figured out with Exquisite Blood and Sanguine Bond. Now, if you know the effects of both these cards, Sanguine Bond is whenever you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. And then Exquisite Blood is whenever an opponent loses life, you gain that much life. So the combo goes, your opponent loses a life, or you gain a life, and then you gain a life, they lose a life, you gain a life, they lose a life, you gain a life, they lose a life.
Until your opponent reaches 0.
Exactly, and you can do this with multiple opponents because once you use your gain life to kill one person, then you're going to gain another life, and you can use that life to pick off another person and so on.
Essentially, once you get it going, you're going to automatically win.
Exactly, and when Gatecrash came out, I was able to add some cards to this deck that just really kind of helped improve it. Viscopa Guildmage, its second ability is a 3-drop that has the exact same effect as Sanguine Bond. So technically, if you really wanted to, you could make this a standard deck using the Exquisite Blood and Viscopa Guildmage, but I decided, just because I wanted to make this deck a extended deck and just add those cards in. Some of the cards that I have in here are cards like Pulse Tracker, which is a 1-drop whenever it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life. And then cards like Tormented Soul, which is unblockable. Now, the reason I have this in here is because before I was telling myself getting out my 2 infinite combo cards, but then I couldn't deal the damage or gain the life to be able to finish off a combo.
And then it would get stopped by cards like Victim of Night or whatever.
Exactly. And so, some other cards that I have in here are just search cards like Diabolic Tutor, 4-drop, search your library for a card.
Now, because of that, this deck is not tournament legal.
And then I have Increasing Ambition, which is a card that you could replace Diabolic Tutor for if you wanted to make this deck legal. I also have Sign in Bloods just to be able to give you that draw power, because really it doesn't matter how much life your opponent loses before you get the combo out. Once you have it out, it's game over. I'll never really attack with my creatures because, like I just said, I mean, you're looking for a combo, not for a way to deal enough damage.
Unless you can't get it off and you're wanting to make sure you get game.
Exactly. Another card from Gatecrash that I really like that I added in here, I actually just had an extra Obsidian sitting around, so I put it in here, and I found it really useful because you can play that and then you're gaining life, which will help you extend the game, but also once you play your final infinite combo card, then you can flip Obsidian over, and then that's game over. You don't have to wait to attack or anything. It's just, that'll get that for you. Another card that I really like to have in here because it's a 1-drop and it's going to help extend the game is Dutiful Thrall, because then you're going to have that regenerate power to be able to block creatures that you need to and then just continue to do so. So this is going to help you get into those 3rd, 4th, even 5th turns. And then basically it just goes to mana.
So for Orzhov Guild, how many was it? 14?
14 swamps and then 6 plains. I run a little bit mana heavy on this deck because there isn't a whole lot of black or white mana ramp going around, just because there never has been any. And so to get the 5 drops that you need for Sanguine Bond and Exquisite Blood, you have to have a good amount of mana to be able to draw those cards.
Now, earlier today, before he traded it to me, he ran Liliana Vest from M13 in it, but like I said, he traded it to me, and that is now in my Golgari deck.
And I decided not to keep that in here just because it's a little bit too slow mana ramp, and I could draw Liliana's Vest and get a little bit of mana, or I could draw Dutiful Thrall, which I would prefer because that's going to help me extend the game. And that's probably the hardest thing about this deck, is to be able to extend it into the 5th, 6th, and 7th turn. But you can do that when you have Obsidian and you're gaining life, and Viscopa Guildmage, which can give all your creatures lifelink. So that's going to help you extend the game.
Yeah. For those that are trying to build the deck, that's 4 Guildmage there.
And then 4 Dutiful Thralls, 4 Diabolic Tutors, 4 Tormented Souls, 2 Pulse Trackers, 4 Sign in Bloods, 4 Increasing Ambitions, and then 3 Exquisite Bloods, and 3 Sanguine Bonds. Now, most people would suggest that you run 4 Sanguine Bonds and 4 Exquisite Bloods, but with my draw power and search power,
you can get it out faster.
You don't need to be able to draw them, you just need to be able to search for them.
For Christ's sake, you could run 2 and 2 if you wanted to.
So I mean, that's pretty much it. I have gotten beaten with this deck before, but that was just because I kept with a 1-mana hand, which probably wasn't the smartest thing to do.
And because I Wild Beast mastered and Revenge of the Hunted with a Slitherhead.
Yep. But I mean, it's a really good deck. It's one of those decks that you could make standard and do okay with, or it's a deck that you can play in Legacy, and it's actually pretty cheap. The most expensive card in this deck, if I took Orzhov out, obviously Orzhov's 25, but if I took him out, which I could do easily, then Sanguine Bond is the second most expensive card, which is just at $7. So I mean, you're looking at a Legacy deck that can hold its weight.
So that's $21 right there.
Yeah. So it's a Legacy deck that can hold its weight, but it's not too expensive. And so it's just a good way to...
pretty much budget if you want to get a good, like, $200 deck at most, probably.
No, this deck isn't even close to $200. It's under $50.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's pretty much it.
Wow. Because I know my Golgari deck is close to about 70.
I have decks that are worth way too much.
Now, that's nothing compared to my friend Michael's. As I was telling Josh, he runs, well, one of his decks is Progenitus EDH. $6,000 for the entire deck. So keep that in mind. So, see ya.